name is Chloe, and welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. So, today is Monday. It is almost nap time, and so I just thought I'd sneak up here really quick and update you guys on what we're doing, what I'm reading, and all the things. So, this morning we started our first real day of homeschool and homeschool preschool, and so we are talking about the letter P. So, we did a lot of things with penguins and we just kind of did all the things. And today is snowy and icy and terrible outside. And we actually have a snow day. The schools have a snow day because of ice. The snow is actually not going to accumulate. It's just ice. And so I hate that. But I knew we were going to be stuck inside all day. So I made sure to have lots of different things to do school wise. I mean, preschool is not that much different than just regular life. It's just having activities at the ready. And so we did that. We played with penguins and I hid them all over the house after we read about how penguins like to huddle. So then she got some physical activity trying to get them all back together. And so that was good. She colored all the P's she could see, which for not even 3, I was really impressed at how good she did with that. And she put things in size order. She was nailing it. I'm really using penguins to teach P because winter penguins, I won't talk a whole lot about the things we're doing for school just because I know you guys don't care. This is not a homeschool channel, but I'm just excited that it went well and she wanted to do it all morning. So that's kind of what we did. So as far as reading goes, I started last night, The House That Hope Built, or That Love Built by Beth Wiseman. So I'm really enjoying this. This is a Christian fiction, and I didn't even know that until a third of the way through. And now that it has started, with the faith elements, it is kind of stronger in that. So if you don't love it, if you don't love that part, then maybe don't pick this up. But I'm really enjoying it. This is about a woman who's maybe 30 something, and she is a widow, and she's got 2 kids that are late elementary school, maybe early middle school. And the boy, he's the older one. He's a little surly, a little protective of his mom, which makes sense. And then this guy, he moves in to the house, this house that has some legends about it in this town. So the town is Smithville, Texas, which is where Hope Floats takes place. And so he's from Austin, and I think it's in the Austin area. I didn't even know that was a real place, but it's a small town. Everybody knows your business. And he moves into this house that supposedly has stuff hidden in a bunker below the house. And so I like our main character a lot because she is not your typical girl, but without being the not like other girls trope. She works at a hardware store. She's just kind of a tomboy and really seems to be a good mom, just not really worried about all the ruffles and feathers. And the thing that is kind of bothering me about this is he moved there because of his ex-wife. So his ex-wife had always said she wanted to live in Smithville. I don't know why I can't remember that town name, but she wanted to live in Smithville in this big old house. And so they got divorced, and kind of to spite her, he did it. He fulfilled her dream by himself. And so she also is definitely not over her husband. Her husband died 2 years ago, and she is very much still in the mourning stage. And so really neither of them are open to a relation or ready for a relationship, and they say that they don't want to date, but of course things happen, and I just don't feel like we're getting quite enough of that healing process for her and him, because he's really got a lot of resentment and things going on with his ex-wife, and so it feels like a rebound relationship. So for that reason I'm struggling to really ship them. But it's a good story. And her mom is also in a nursing home by choice. She wants the social aspects and things. And so her mom and her dad are split up, but they've got some things going on. And so we get that kind of relationship. And overall, I'm really enjoying this because it is a gap that I feel like is kind of in the literature of these older people having relationships. And so that is good that we're seeing that here. I just wish these 2 people either were more in a place to move on to a relationship or did some work in the process to get over that, as opposed to just saying oh, you're new and shiny, now I'm over it. And so I rebound relationships are not my jam. But anyway, that's what's going on with this. And so now it is almost nap time, and I have had some stomach issues today. I'm just not feeling great. And so I was up a lot of the night. And so I'm hoping, especially it's so gray and perfect napping weather. So I'm hoping to read some of that. I'm also still working on a different book, but a book for a secret TBR that is going on. And all of those are ones that I have physically. And so I feel like I'm going to stop mentioning it because it's going to be a while before you guys see the video. But that is everything that's going on. So I will check in later, probably tomorrow. Tonight we are starting. So if you guys have watched this channel for a while, I do Sabbath snacks. On Sundays, I just put snacks and everything in a muffin tin, and the kids, everybody just like eats whatever. Well, I'm moving that from Sunday to Monday to hopefully teach letters a little bit more. So Muffin Tin Monday is what we're going to do instead of Sabbath snacks. And because Ainsley, like, Sabbath snacks didn't stick, Muffin Tin dinner did. So Muffin Tin Monday, and instead we're doing soupy Sundays. So we did soup last night. So I don't know. I'm just trying it with the alliterations. We're doing, then we do tuna sandwiches on Tuesday, and Friday is Fiesta Friday. So we have Mexican food, and then Sleepy Saturday, we do breakfast for dinner. So Wednesday and Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. No, just Wednesday and Thursday don't have things. So maybe we'll get there. If you have suggestions, let me know. But yeah, so tonight's Muffin Tin dinner, which is great. I'm also doing all pea foods since that's our letter of the week. So I'll do like peas, pistachios, pasta, pancakes, peas, and pears probably. So that's what I'm going to do. So I will maybe take a picture of that and insert it, but otherwise we'll check in tomorrow. Hey everyone, it is Tuesday. It's almost 11 o'clock. We just ran to Target because we needed to get a new snow shovel for Ainsley. We didn't have a kid size one, and she is really excited to shovel. So we obviously got snow overnight. It kind of snowed all day yesterday, but the ground was too warm for it to stick. And then overnight it got super cold, so it obviously stuck. And so now we have snow. So we're going to shovel the driveway here for a little bit. This morning we just kind of cozied up and made breakfast bars, and it's still 23 degrees with a feels like temperature of 13 degrees. So if you guys know me, you know that like this is my personal HELL. I really hate this weather. I really do. But I love my kids, and so we are going to do this. Annie is asleep, so we're just going to be outside until she wakes up, and then we're going to go in. And tonight is dance class, so we're really excited about that. And that's really our day. Jeremy is out of town today, so it's just a girls' day, and he'll be home this evening. He's just gone for the day, so that is nice that he'll be back. And that's really everything. So as far as reading goes, I did finish The House That Love Built last night by Beth Wiseman. I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I really teetered between 3.5 and 4 because it has a trope that I don't love, but I do love, like, it was just a very sweet story. So like I said, it's about this guy who moves into town because he is like trying to spite his ex-wife. She always wanted to move to this town. It's a quaint little town. He buys this house that supposedly has a hidden bunker with all of this lady's treasures underneath. Then we've got our main character, female, who she works at a hardware store, or I think she owns it. I don't even know. But she's got 2 kids. She's a widow. And so it's their romance. And I didn't like once they got together, and just I feel like in Christian fiction in general, you get very, very, very stereotypical gender roles. And once they came together, it was that very stereotypical gender roles. And part of the reason I loved like our heroine mainly is because she was not like your other girls. You know, she was not your typical like kind of subservient woman, but it wasn't like done in a gross way, but it just was very, very traditional. And I think that's why I don't love Christian fiction, just because I like really strong females. And this one was just very typical gender roles. So that is that. The relationship with the parents and all of that was good. The overall theme of like redemption in this was really strong because there is a 17-year-old boy. I don't know if I've talked about him. His name is Hunter, and he has stolen. He's done all these different things. He's just not a good kid. Nobody will give him a chance. But Owen, our main male character, asks him to help renovate this old house. And so he really gives him a shot. And, our main female, I can't even remember her name, Brooke, I think is her name. She really has a grudge against this Hunter because he came into the hardware store and like tried to hold it up with a mask and a gun, but it was a water gun. So she didn't know that, but you know, so she's like, no, that kid, I don't want my kids around that kid. And the redemption arc in that is really great. And I thought those relationships were really sweet. And then there is a baby that comes into play, and the relationship there is really sweet. Like I love single dads, and I'm not going to say that this is not really a single dad romance at all, but there is like some father-daughter element thing going on. Again, I'm not telling a whole lot about that, but anyway, I gave it 4 stars because overall I did really like the sweet stuff, even though I've got a lot of things that I didn't love about it. So 3.5, 4 stars. I gave it 4, and I think I'm going to stick with that. But now I picked up Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, and you guys, I'm buddy reading this with Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, and I am like struggling to be a good buddy reader because I just want to blow through it all. I read like half of it last night, and I told her I'm so sorry, I did not mean to, but it is just, Colleen Hoover has just got this writing style that just flows and goes so quickly, and it's not that long of a book. It's like 320 something pages, I think. So this is about a young girl who also, like kind of like Hunter from the last book, she has a really rough upbringing. Her mom is a drug addict. Her dad is like absentee. She spends like 2 weeks out of the year with him, and she just is like really closed off, and for a good reason. So then she discovers her mom has died, and she goes to live with her dad. And she's like 17 too, I think, or maybe even a little older, about like on the brink of going to college. I think it's the summer before her college, and she has not told anybody, but she has a full ride volleyball scholarship to like Penn State or somewhere big. She is obviously very talented, but she doesn't share that with anybody because nobody in her life has ever cared. And so it's her story. It is a YA. Sarah and I both went into this book 100% blind, and I'm loving that we did that because with Colleen Hoover, I'm like, is there more to this story? I'm assuming there's going to be. Right now, it's sort of a typical YA romance because she goes and she meets this boy, and she's got her dad is now remarried, so she's got a stepsister. So there's some things with that. There's some body image things because she is really skinny. And like has the typical perfect body, but it's because she doesn't have adequate food. And so her sister-in-law or her stepsister or whatever is like envious, but she's like, no girl, I want to gain some weight. And so that whole dynamic is a little bit weird, but hopefully will kind of resolve itself. So overall, I'm loving it. I'm going to try not to pick it up again until tonight because I don't want to get too far ahead of her, but so far so good. Again, another Colleen Hoover. Of course, I love it. So that is everything. I will update probably tomorrow with what my final thoughts on Heartbones, because I'm sure I'll finish it tonight, and what I pick up next. Hey everyone, I'm literally in my closed garage, but I wanted to update before I went inside because I just went and got Ainsley birthday supplies for her birthday is Saturday, and I shut the garage because it is so cold outside. We got even more snow, and so it's just frigid. Like it feels like temperature is like 12 degrees, and so I didn't want the garage to get any colder, but if I go inside, things are going to get crazy, so I figured I would just update out here. So, this morning we did all sorts of P activities. So I got a bunch of like magnetic letters and I put them all in a pile on the table and told her to pick out the P's and then run all the way to the other side of the house and put them on this like whiteboard we have. And so she did that, and that was really fun. And then afterwards, like, I have made her a notebook that I'll just switch out for every letter, and it's just got coloring sheets about like things that start with P, and then like dot stickers, so you can either use like they make markers for that or stickers or whatever. So she did some of that, and like that is just for her if we have any free time, she can pick up her P notebook. And she feels really cool having her own binder, so that's neat. And we read some more penguin stories about just penguins and things, and so I made her a little sensory bin of like ice and colored water because they like to live in the ice and the snow and the cold. And so then I put those little penguins that I had and put them in there. So she got to play in that. And I gave her some different like utensils and tools and stuff to play in the ice, and let her pour some water over it so she could watch it melt, and just all sorts of things. And then I put it back in the freezer so she can hopefully play with it again later. And hopefully that will buy some time. But you guys, today has been like, she has like a 10-minute attention span max. So all of those activities lasted like 10 minutes each. And so I'm like, shoot, girl, I'm tapped out. So that's really what we did. And then like calendar with weather and that kind of stuff we did. But today has just been kind of a high anxiety day for me today. And I think it's because it's just so cold. We're really trapped inside. Jeremy did take her outside after lunch and they built a snowman and like played outside, but I can't hack it. And like with Annie, we have a snowsuit and stuff for her, but for her to go outside, like she's so like Michelin man that she can't like sit in a bunch of things. And so it's really hard to have her. And I get paranoid that she's not warm enough. And so whatever. So now it's nap time, and I'm going to go in and try to edit some videos and maybe do some reading. This morning I did, before the kids got up, I did a yoga strength or something video. And I will tell you, I hate yoga. I just cannot get my mind, like if I'm not sweating, I don't want to work out. And so like yoga is just hard for me mentally. But this one, it like combined weightlifting and yoga, and I loved it. And I think I'm like low-key addicted, and I really want to go do like a bar class. I've been using the app called Fit On, and they've got like different class lengths from like 5 minutes up to like an hour. And so you can pick one that works for you. So I might do that. I think what I'm going to do, because I am editing a TGI Friend Day, and so it's a longer video. And so I think I'm going to do 10 minutes of editing and then either read for a chapter because I have a physical book going that I need to read, or do some sort of like physical activity like sit-ups or some sort of like a 5-minute bar class or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I probably have like half an hour of nap time left, so I don't even know why I'm making these goals because it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, as far as reading goes, so I finished Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand is who I'm buddy reading that with, and God bless her, she is like reading a lot today to try to catch up. I did not mean to go through it so quickly, but I just had to know. So there was like a little lag in the middle where it got a little bit slower, but then something happened at 3:00 this morning where I was like, I'm not going back to bed. I have got to know what's going on. So I think I talked about this book. It is about Bea, I think is her name, and she is like lives with her mom, who is a drug addict, and she's really been taking care of herself. She goes and visits her dad for 2 weeks out of the year, but he doesn't have a ton of money, and she just like is very closed off from him and stuff. So like it still doesn't quite make sense to me why at an earlier point she wasn't like, hey, can I come live with you? But she didn't. So that's that. So she walks in and her mother is dead. That is pretty early in the book, so I don't feel like that's a spoiler. But she goes then to her dad's, and she just doesn't tell him anything. Not that her mom died, not how long she's going to stay, nothing. And she gets there and he's remarried. She has a stepsister. And things are just a lot different. His new wife is like a dentist or a lawyer or something. I don't know, something where she makes quite a bit of money. So now he's got a lot more money, and there's an interesting conversation going on between the stepsister and our main character. Because our main character has a very stereotypically beautiful body, but it's because she doesn't have enough food. Whereas the stepsister has more than enough, and she is trying to lose weight. So one's trying to lose, one's trying to gain, and it's based on resources. And that was brought up, and it was like a really big conversation for once, like one point, and then it was just kind of dropped. And I really wished there was more that came out of that. But maybe that's just me, and my own like desires in the book. I don't know that it would necessarily be a negative, but anyway, so she meets this boy named Samson, and Samson is very mysterious. And one thing that did bother me about this book is that Samson says, I'll tell you everything in August right before the end of the summer, because they're both planning to leave at the end of the summer. And she just says, okay. And like stuff starts coming up where it's like, no, I would need to know. I would need to know some details. Like, you need to answer some questions. And she just kind of goes with it. And so her like blind faith in him is something that I don't really think is realistic, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, young love is interesting. So maybe, but overall I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it's got that compulsively readable style, and it was really good and entertaining. There were just a couple things that I really wanted more from, but for going in blind and having no expectations, I thought it was pretty good. And she didn't do like the stereotypical kind of formulaic YA, where miscommunication is the conflict and that kind of stuff. It definitely had points that caught you off guard. And so again, I say she is just a very, very talented author, and I would highly recommend her. So I also I'm doing a secret TBR right now of 3 books, and they're all physical and they're all kind of long. And I finished the second one, but I'm not going to tell you about that here, obviously, but I am making progress. So that feels good. Other than that, tonight we're doing stir fry for dinner and just kind of staying at home. Last night we had dance class, and that was really good. And yeah, tonight is really nothing. And so that's it. I will check in tomorrow. Hey everyone, it is Thursday at like 4:15. We are just about to go to the chiropractor, but I just thought I'd get on and let you know what we've been doing, what we've been reading. So today I started the Crockpot this morning. I had a virtual appointment with the kid's doctor because I have kind of had a couple of high anxiety days, and so I was wanting to talk to him about a couple of weird things I've been noticing. So I was asked him, are these weird? Are these normal? He said everything he thinks is good. So that's great. And that was really the morning. So then we went to the library, and that was fun, I guess. They don't have any toys, any climbing things, anything, but I got some books, of course. And Ainsley got a couple, so that was good. And then we came home. Jeremy went to Wichita last night, but he came home right after lunchtime, so that was good. And that's it. So as far as reading goes, I finished Give Me a Call by Sarah Mlynowski, maybe. And I was buddy reading this with Morgan from Nothing Better Than Books. So this book is about this girl. She is a senior in high school, and she gets broken up with by her boyfriend, and she's just shattered. Her heart is broken. And so she wishes that she could go back to freshman year when they first started dating and make it never happen. So then she gets a call from herself as a freshman. And this at first gave me serious landline vibes, because it's she's communicating with herself in the past. And so her name is Devi, I think. And so it's Devi as a freshman and Devi as a senior, and they can talk through these cell phones. So they are communicating, and the freshman will do something and we'll see the repercussions in the senior's life. And so she tells her don't go to this party, don't do this, don't do that. And it was really interesting. I think if I'm going to tell you, as a 31-year-old woman, I gave this 3.5 stars. If I would have been 16, I probably would have given it 5 stars, because I love sliding door stories. I think that is really cool. And it just makes you think about every decision you make. However, the things I didn't like about it is this Devi, she has a lot of influence, an unbelievable, there you go, maybe that's a better word, unbelievable amount of influence on all of her friends. And so if she tells her friend to do something, that whole friend's trajectory for the rest of their life is changed. And I think that's a little unrealistic, obviously. And then also they kind of had a angel devil thing going on, where the senior was very, very controlling and the freshman was very, very submissive, which makes sense because she's wanting to do the best thing for herself in the future. But once things start to have some conflict, because the senior, of course, is reaping the benefits of all of this work the freshman is doing. And so, especially academically. And so there comes some conflict, and they really butt heads. And it's I don't know. I thought it was really interesting to think about because was it realistic them being the same person that they would kind of have such different personalities? But then also at times, have you not like been so annoyed that you're working your butt off for something hard and it's like you don't want to do it and then but you need to and you're frustrated by the fact that you have to. So maybe it's that. I don't know. And really, like, the only other thing that I didn't love is, like, the overall message was just, like, let life happen. The more you try to manipulate and control, the more you're going to mess things up. And so just, like, live life. Life is best enjoyed, just, like, going with the punches, letting things happen. But there's one thing, like, there is one difference that happens, and it's because of the fact that she knew things ahead of time. And for me, that was, like, confusing as to what's the takeaway, because the overall message I would definitely say is like, let life happen. Don't try to manipulate and control. But because of her manipulation, her life was better in a way, in a very like subtle way. She still lived basically the same life, but it was different. So I'm being really vague because of course you have to like read the story to know the details. But overall, like I said, if I was 16 and had never read a story like this before, I think I would have like loved it. It also did get kind of repetitive at times just because it would be like freshman messes with things. We see the repercussions. Freshman messes, it kind of went back and forth of the same kind of things over and over. But it served the point, and it was like 300 pages, so it didn't become like too redundant that it got obnoxious. So overall, I really like that. So now I'm going to end this vlog because tomorrow starts the recommendation readathon hosted by Little Writer M. And so I'm going to do a separate vlog for that. So thank you for watching this. If you have read any of the books that I read this week, let me know. How was your week? Did you do anything fun? And this week, like, it's only Thursday, so I'm kind of jumping the gun and saying this, but it went by pretty quick. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes tomorrow. And all 4 of us are going to get adjusted, so that'll be fun. I am going to go wake Annie up right now, and I really hope that doesn't bite me in the derriere, but we'll see. So we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.